All right, for more on the political climate in the DRC, we have SABC News International Editor Sophie Mokoena on the line. Sophie, a very good evening to you. Look, where are these accusations against the former DRC president stemming from? I mean, is there any proof that Kabila is indeed backing the M23 rebels?
Well, the allegations come from different people in that country. That would include your ordinary people and also officials. And clearly the allegations came to light after the government of President Joseph Kabila accused the M23 rebel for trying to fight for autonomy of that region. And therefore now the allegation is that the former President Joseph Kabila is supporting M23 rebels. We know that he has been quiet, as you heard in the report earlier on, and he has been busy studying. The last time we saw him it was when he went to Namibia to pay his last respects to the former president of Namibia, Geingob, just before the funeral. And therefore, we don't know much, but the people in DRC, particularly in Kinshasa, and also some government officials are making these allegations.
Now, Sophie, the current tensions in that region are quite a cause for concern, right? So let's talk about the fact that the rebels themselves made a call for a federal government system in the DRC. Do you think this is even a possibility to dealing with the instability in that region? We hear that the citizens themselves of the DRC have actually criticized the rebels' stance as well as call for a new government structure.
Well, it's not clear whether this is a solution, because if they become independent, it will be a problem. You are really dividing the Democratic Republic of Congo. And that is why many people, current leaders, former leaders, and those who have passed on, who handled the DRC matter, whether you're talking about Julius Nyerere, you're talking about Thabo Mbeki and the others, have been saying that what is important is to have a leader in the DRC who will be able to accept that Congolese in the eastern part of the DRC, much as they have links with other countries such as Rwanda, or Uganda, but these are Congolese because they are inside that country. And therefore, if you don't serve them like all other Congolese in Congo, you focus on areas where you know that you have people that you support, then you will continuously have this tension in the eastern part of the DRC, where at times, particularly this current president, always point a finger at Rwanda, saying it is because of Rwanda. But many people are saying you have to ensure that Congolese in the eastern part of the DRC feel accepted and they get services and they know they are protected by Kinshasa. And therefore that is the critical issue. But it is very difficult right now, particularly as we know that in April next month, starting from Monday, the withdrawal of the UN troops, they are going to leave a vacuum in terms of security. Yes, you have the SADC contingent, and the recent Troika meeting in Zambia announced that they will be pulling out of Mozambique with the aim of strengthening the deployment in the eastern part of the DRC. So as we wait for that, I think in the eastern part, the M23 rebels are going to strengthen their resolve and fight. And therefore you will see this war or conflict intensifying in the eastern part. And unfortunately, at the end of the day, The people who are most vulnerable are women and children. Women are being raped, women are being killed, children are being abused, children are being killed. You know that the vulnerable always become victims because the rebels, the soldiers, the military use vulnerable people to fight if they can't really get what they want in terms of military way, but they will abuse the people so that there's submission. And therefore, this is the situation that is prevailing. And the Secretary General a few days ago spoke about this issue. Many people are talking about this issue, that what is happening in the eastern part of the DRC is tragic, and it's almost like a genocide.
Sophie, I mean, speaking of that, I know we're out of time. I'm not asking you a question. I mean, at the back of that, we know many citizens, if you're talking about the humanitarian crisis, there many citizens in the region have been displaced. The DRC is indeed like among 5 of the poorest nations in the world, with 1 out of 6 people living in extreme poverty. All right, so that is SABC News International Editor there, Sophie Mokoena. Thank you so much for that. She was giving us an update on the current tensions in the DRC.